The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Well, hello, Buffalo. This is Ask the Tax Lady with EG Tax. This is not Esther. This is Chris Fabian again from EG. We're here to help you this hour with whatever tax needs you may have. You know, big, beautiful bill questions, any tax questions, tax planning questions. We're here to help you. And in studio, I am joined by my beautiful wife again, Tiffany.
Hey, happy Saturday. So it was your birthday yesterday and you don't get off today, Mr. Fabian?
No, Esther does.
I guess that's called seniority, right?
Yeah.
Well, happy Saturday. And I know there's some things that you want to hit on, but we are continuing our summer series and we are fortunate and blessed today to have in studio Franz. He's a real estate appraiser who I've had the pleasure of knowing for a very long time. And then Roz, and she is a real estate broker, real estate agent extraordinaire who I have also been blessed to know for many years. So get all of your real estate appraisal and real estate questions ready because we've got some amazing people who have the answers that you and I don't have.
That's right. We don't know everything. But if you got questions, give us a call, 716-803-0930, 716-803-0930, star 930 on your cell phone. You could text them in to the same number as well. Again, 716-803-0930. But coming up, starting in October, we do have our tax school. So if you want to impress your friends, as Esther would say, come holiday time and know a lot of stuff so you could be the hit of the party, sign up for our school. You can go to our website at egtax.com. Give us a call at the office during the week, 632-7886. We'd love to have you. And then also in September, middle of September, we're going to have seminars on that big, beautiful bill. Sometimes it's not as big and beautiful as we would have loved it to be, and that's why we're doing the seminar, because it is not Social Security tax-free. All tips are not tax-free. All overtime is not tax-free. There's different nuances with each aspect of the changes, and that's what we're here to help you out there, our listeners, because we care about you, and we want you to know it so you can be prepared and make adjustments or whatever you want to do with your withholding.
Yeah, and then I want to circle back to tax school. The hope is, you know, like we always say, you'll learn taxes from A to Z, and you'll be the hit at every party. There's also an online option, and the hope is that you'll come and work at one of our over 30 offices. And it's a great opportunity. And with unemployment, I mean, maybe you could get a dice of this. Who knows about the laws? But with unemployment going up, it's just a great opportunity to maybe bridge the two together. And so if you're interested, you can go to egtax.com or call 632-7886. You could register for the seminar and register for the schools that way.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And, you know, also we're doing our research like we always do. People always ask us, how do we know it all? Well, we're constantly looking things up and doing different things. The car loan interest is only on new cars. Refinancing does not count. So if you have a car and you want to refinance, you're not going to be able to write off the interest as an adjustment to income. It's only on new cars.
Right. And then I've got a good story to sort of tie in with our guest today. Our daughter Gracie's getting married in a few weeks, and over the week she was looking at houses because they own a house right now, but Gracie thinks it's too small and the road is too busy and yada, yada, yada. So she was looking at a house in Clarence, and she sent a picture of it to her fiance, and she said, this is what our monthly payment would be. This is how many bedrooms. Look at the beautiful remodeled kitchen and the bathroom. And then he's like, keep your eye on the current objective to get married. Just keep your eye on that, Gracie. Just keep your eye on that. Because, interest rates are so high right now. They're hoping, are you finding that clients tell you a lot of times, I'm waiting for the interest rates to drop?
When they first went up, when they went from 3% to 6%,
Right.
there was that, I'm going to wait,
Right.
I'm going to wait. Now that they've been up for so long, you're seeing value go up, so now you have to decide. I have a business partner that says marry the house, date the rate.
Yep.
Because if the rate goes down, you can refinance.
I
So
like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
marry the house and date the rate.
I like that. I think we've said that, to her and to other people, you can always refinance, right, Chris?
Yep.
Yep. And so it's such a true thing. And then there's not a lot of inventory still.
Exactly.
And so you just sort of got to get what you can get while the getting is good, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's the hard part is, like, people are tied into a 2.5-3% mortgage, and they're like, why would I sell to buy one at a 7%?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's a big change in a mortgage payment.
Right. I mean, I look back at the clients that I helped purchase homes 5-6 years ago. And, my daughter, for example, she's been in her house maybe 9 years, and her rate was like, I think hers is 1.2 because she bought it down. So where would she go now?
Right.
And then before the break, I thought this, sometimes we ask our guests to put together some questions. And so before the break, I just think this is a pretty good segue. I like this question. Franz, what brings you to the Ask the Tax Lady show? I like this. You put this together.
Well, excuse me, Tiffany, you were kind enough to have me on
4 years ago.
4 years ago and I really enjoy my work, and I've been working so hard, and yet my taxes were not getting done. And
You mean you're human? You're human.
And so I finally got done the parts of it that I needed to do, as far as doing the income and expense for my real estate investments and for my business as an appraiser. And I came to Tiffany and I said, help. And over the course of a month, Tiffany did her magic and got me up to date. And the amazing thing is that I was lucky enough that when I made the estimated payments, that I even am getting refunds now. And the first one just arrived. And so, Tiffany, I just want to thank you a lot.
Yeah.
You really did a sensational job.
Well, you helped because you did all of your homework, we'll say, and you had downloaded a blank Schedule E and a blank Schedule C, and you wrote everything on the E and the C, and you had all your supporting documents. So you made it a walk in the park.
And yet I would have been totally lost without you.
Well, together we're a team. That's what life is all about. Because sometimes, Chris, don't people come to us with a shoebox sometimes?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I know Gracie was doing a return in the whole drawer this week, and I think it was a shoebox one. And so she called them up and said, we're going to charge you $75 an hour for accounting. And they said, no, we'll pick it up and do the accounting for you, right, Chris?
Yeah, but we'll see. They didn't do 2 years, so now they're going to do it.
That's a good point.
But we'll see. Yeah, a lot of people, they're procrastinators on that paperwork.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. And Franz, and your kid was there, and so it really made things difficult, don't you think?
Well, I'd like to lean on that, but really what it's more about is I like doing the things I like to do, and I don't enjoy doing my taxes so much. And so that seems to get put on hold. And,
Well,
and
that's
yet
where we come in.
now I'm caught up.
That's where we come in. And you want to go to a break, Chris?
Yep, it's time for a break. EG Tax, helping you with your tax questions. We have a nice, great real estate agent and appraiser in here too. If you have questions, they got the answers. You can get them done for free. We'll take a short break and we'll see you on the other side. And we're back, family. And we got a big family reunion going on here in studio. I'm Chris Fabian, Tiffany Fabian. We got our Rosalind, who's our real estate agent. And Franz, who's our appraisal. So you have those questions. We'll get the answers. We got you covered today.
Yeah, you want to go to the text before I ask another question, Chris?
I was about to, yep. So we received a payout from my school for unused sick days. For now, it's not invested in the stock market. It's simply earning a variable interest rate that is currently around 4% at the Lincoln Group. I'm 68, don't know what to do with it. Well, if you received the cash and you just have it sitting there at Lincoln, 4% isn't bad. I know the big thing is it's variable. It can change if interest rates drop, so does your interest rate. So maybe that's where you want to try locking it into a bond that will give you a fixed percentage for a long period of time if you don't need it right away. If you want to be more aggressive, put it in the stock market. I'm not a financial person. I don't want to tell you, invest in this stock or this fund. That's definitely not me. I would definitely call a broker and ask them their opinion.
I think you have a really good point always is like interview or ask 3 different financial brokers. And if you call us at 632-7886 during the week, we can give you the names of a few financial brokers. But I know right now the interest rates for CDs are pretty strong. So that's always, and then the logic is, for what little I know, the older you get, the more secure you should maintain because, of course, your amount of years that you can grow, your income is diminished. So really good question. But it sounds like it's like a retired teacher who got that money. And so the exciting thing is and the nice thing is he's going to get Social Security. He or she's going to get Social Security. They're going to have their pension. And so teachers do really good in retirement, which they really, really deserve, And
another thing is, take your loved one and go on a nice European trip while you can.
Absolutely.
You don't want to get older and say, I should have done that much before. Do it now.
Yep.
You know?
Isn't that the truth? Yep. And then Rosalind,
Yes.
Good question. You write here, what is the current market value of my home to be realistic for listing prices comparable? So I guess somebody putting their house on the market, you guys would usually look at comps, am I right? And
Correct.
Yeah, so
it's going to vary. It depends on the updates in the house, the condition.
Okay.
So it really is, the average sale price is about $250.
Okay.
However, we definitely, the real estate's so different. We need to walk through the house, assess the current condition. A lot of times sellers have in their mind, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. So then we walk through and make an assessment. If you do all what you think you need to do, what value is that going to bring you? Or do we sell it as is? And what value is that going to bring you?
And so what it costs you this much and what is going to be your return on doing that?
So it's always important whether to get a real estate professional opinion before you jump into and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I always say lay the plan out completely financially.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you going to go? And
yes.
That's the important question.
Yes. And I was going to tell a little story, but before I tell a little story, if people want to reach you, Roz, during the week, what is the best phone number to reach you at?
So our office number is 716-534-8495.
And what real estate agent LLC do you
So
own?
We are I own a partner in a real estate brokerage. I have two business partners. So it's Moutry Murphy Bergen Realty Group, and we celebrated our 5th year this year. So we're kind of known as MMB Realty Group around the Western New York. So again, that number 716-534-8495 to
Right.
reach us.
And what magazine were you on the cover of a few years ago?
That was the Challenger when I was actually in 2023. I was president of the Buffalo Niagara Association of Realtors. So,
Oh, nice.
and it was kind of a history event because I was the first person of color to hold that position.
Yay! Was that a stressful position?
No, actually, it was fun.
Oh, well, that's how you approach things. That's how you always approach
Yeah,
things.
Absolutely.
And Franz, what is your phone number if people want to reach you?
Yes, I can be reached at, the name of my little entity is Going Concern Valuation, and I specialize mostly in commercial real estate that has a business component. So that's things like restaurants, convenience stores, and so on. And my phone number is 716-440-1966.
So, I just thought about something. Last week we had on Russ Gullo, and he does real estate exchanges.
1031.
1031s, yes. So a lot of times if somebody wants to exchange a piece of property, they could always exchange it for a strip plaza or something like that. And so you appraise, like you could do strip plazas and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know Russ, and someone who's thinking about doing a 1031 exchange needs to know what their property's worth, because once that 1031 starts, everything has to go kind of in lockstep. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have a good understanding of what your property's worth before you start getting involved in buying and selling at the same time.
Yeah, and it's really hard if you keep the property in New York, because closing in New York is like one of the longest times to close, right? I mean, I know in Florida it's 2 weeks, North Carolina it's 2 weeks, in New York it's 2 months if you're lucky.
So we are because we're an attorney state, and getting into real estate, I realized there's only, out of the 50 states in the country, there's only 13 attorney states. So I've had clients from California, I sell houses 2 weeks all day long, take 2 weeks to close. But we are an attorney state, so you have the bank has an attorney representing them, the seller has an attorney representing them, and the buyer has an attorney representing them.
It sort of
and
muddies
you put
the
all
water.
that together.
Yeah.
As I always say, our daughter's an attorney, a lawyer, so I can say this: lawyers suck.
But when you need one,
they do muddy the water.
You need one.
But when you need
Right.
one, you need
Yeah,
one, and they're
absolutely.
remarkable. So
Yeah,
my
but-
story is whenever Chris and I purchased or sold, or mostly sold a house, Kathy Anderson from Hunt has always helped us. And we had sold, I think every house that we ever sold, Chris, the market wasn't so robust, right? And so she would come in and say, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to do this. And she would look at things but then a lot of the things were easy, like get rid of all
Painting
the
it
personal
white.
things, get rid of all the pictures on the refrigerator.
Declutter,
Yes, the clutter. People want to envision themselves in the
Living
home,
in your house.
Get rid of half of the clothes in your closet to make it
'cause
look
they
big.
don't want to think that you ran out of space. So if
Yeah.
they see that your closet is cluttered, then they think my closet's going to be cluttered.
Yeah.
So this house isn't big enough for me because
Yeah.
they ran out of closet space.
Yeah.
So.
And before the break, we could continue this after the break, but Franz, you wrote, what is the most common misperception regarding valuation real estate and how it proceeds? So what is the most common misperception when somebody's going in, like Rosalind was talking about valuing a houses? What is a common misperception?
Well, when it comes to houses, there is basically one number, but and that is found via comparing two comps, as Roz was just discussing, and it's called the sales comparison approach. in the appraisal world. But when it comes to income properties, if you have a restaurant that's doing $500,000 in sales, the real estate might be worth, say, $400,000. But if that same restaurant can get its sales up to $1 million, well, the real estate value may double too. And people don't realize that. They think that, well, the increase in value all goes to the business value. Well, some of it does go to the business value, but a lot of it goes to a bigger real estate value. So that when you say on an income property, I just need to know the value of the sticks and bricks, there isn't just one number. There's one number if you do look at comparables, and yet there's another number if you analyze the income that it earns.
So does that make it, so if you're doing that approach, so what if somebody wants to get a business or a house and it's been the amount that they're paying for it, you appraisers coming in, or not you, but it's overvalued and so they can't get a mortgage. Does that hinder them getting a mortgage sometimes?
Well, I just had the situation where I needed the financial statements for a campground that I was appraising, and they didn't want to give them to me. And the banker involved even said, "Oh no, we just want to know what the sticks and bricks are worth." And I had to explain to the owner of this campground that you are special. You are better than about 99% of all campgrounds in terms of the money you make, because I knew that from the little bit I had learned about it.
Right.
And I can't make the argument that you are better and you are special if I don't have the numbers.
Right.
And
So are they going to give you the
I
financials?
have the numbers.
We'll talk more about this after the news. Chris Fabian from EG Tax here to help you with our special guests, and we'll catch you on the other side of the news. And we're back. EG Tax here. 30 minutes left in our show. Chris Fabian, Tiffany Fabian from EG Tax, here to help you with whatever tax questions you may have. Call us in studio, 716-803-0930. Text in your questions to the same number, 716-803-0930. This week we're joined by Rosalind, who's a real estate agent, and we also have broker. We also have Franz, who is an appraisal, and we got some texts in for you guys. This is for Rosalind of MMB. Do you sell homes only in Buffalo, New York?
No, actually,
That's a good question.
we sell all over Western New York. I think we're lucky because our dynamic, or the grounds to cover, is not as extensive if we were in a bigger city. So we go all over. Amherst, the suburbs, because it's really only 20 minutes, half hour in between.
Yeah, Buffalo's a big little town.
Yeah, we sell around Western New York.
So, there were some recent changes with real estate agents, some new regs that came down. Is it easier to list a house or to go out and show houses to a prospective buyer?
So the buyer's agents, so there's a distinction between buyer's agents
Okay.
and seller's agents.
Okay.
So the seller's agent is the lister. They do all the work up front, getting the houses ready. I mean, you would not believe sometimes we're actually cleaning houses, packing up stuff, helping clients to get organized, hiring a stager. So that's the upfront work.
Okay.
And then you... but with buyers, being a buyer's agent with the shortage of inventory, you could be writing 3-4 offers, offer not accepted, counseling the buyer to how do we make your offer be your highest and your best?
Yes.
How do we put your best foot forward?
Yep.
Based on your approval, based on your finances, and all of that.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, has the new law about it's up to the seller if they want to pay the 6% or if they want the buyer to pay the other, split it between the buyer. Is that a big impact?
It's not as big as I think as it's been publicized. I've been in real estate for 16, 17 years, and we've always had that conversation with a buyer's agent representing how we represent them. And I see the biggest change is sitting down, having the conversation with your sellers to explain exactly how the commission gets divided, and having the first conversation with your buyer so they understand how you get paid.
Right.
No one works for free. And like I said, with the buyer's agent, we're showing multiple houses. So
Yeah.
it's just having a good understanding, being transparent.
Have buyers say, no, I don't want to see that house because I can't afford.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It's all a conversation, understanding up front. Usually especially with my clients, I don't even know I know what my commission should be. I don't know what the seller's offering, because at the end of the day, you have to live in that house, not me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to base what houses I show you on the commission. So I don't even determine that.
Well, I didn't know if the buyer would say, I can't afford the 3%. So
I've not had that, and we
That's
have
good.
20 agents in our office.
And no one. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
Because-
buyers
yeah.
are paying with sellers not offering compensation, buyers are stepping up.
What
Yeah.
was the question for Franz?
Okay. Does finishing my basement increase the value of my home?
Well, certainly any improvement to a piece of property will increase its value, and yet when the building area for a single-family residence is calculated, the basement is generally not included, and if it is included, that is probably overstating it, and yet a house with a finished basement is worth more than a house without a similar house with no finished basement. And Roz, how much are you looking at price per square foot?
So with new construction now, every new build has to have a egress in the basement, which allows it to be finished. And if the sellers decide, I want to finish and I have this egress, they are counting, the builder is counting the square footage as living space. So if you are in an older home and you decide you want to finish your basement and you put in the proper egress and make that a living space, you can roll it into your square footage. Now, it may change your assessment and your taxes, but that's, it's about the comfort and how you want to.
Probably all depends, almost like a pool or solar panels, what the buyer's looking for.
Absolutely.
Because if you could finish it and you could make it a man cave, well, if a woman's looking at the house, they're like, no.
Do I want a man cave?
right. So it probably
Exactly.
depends on the person who's looking at the house.
I tell clients all the time that the changes you make while you're living in the house, it's for your enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's-
There's another text. How can you find out how much I can sell my property for without listing it? That's probably for both of you guys. And I'm thinking this is a novice comps, but it's probably much more in depth than
Look
that.
on Zillow.
Well, no, absolutely.
Thing
That's
is, Zillow
the-
hasn't
the-
seen your house. I say that to clients all the time. Has Zillow seen your house? When they say,
Right.
Zillow says my house is worth, well, when's the last time Zillow looked at your house?
Right.
To that question, I would say ask a professional.
I would agree. I mean, the first thing would be, just so you get a ballpark, go to Zillow. And after you go to Zillow, then go to a professional.
Yeah, I know in our neighborhood, 3 houses, Chris can correct me, it might be wrong, just came out, and one of the houses sold in a day. Another one is still on the market a week later, and then another one sold in 3 days. So that's right in our neighborhood. So that would toe the line of what the house looks like inside, and maybe somebody overpriced it. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's the,
I think what Roz says, looking at your house, well, go on.
yeah, what you think your house is worth may not be what somebody else thinks your house is worth. So really, like you said, Roz, get a professional to come in, because they might think, oh, I think my house is worth $500,000. You might come in and say, no, it's really worth $425,000.
Right.
But if you tweak it just this little bit and do this, it could go up to $475,000.
Right.
And
And
that's
the market is starting to balance out a little bit. I mean, it's still a seller's market, and I just listed a house a couple of weeks ago, and the first 2 buyers put in offers.
Wow.
Wow. It's
Yeah, the
the
text
market.
right now is pretty good, and it makes me think of a patient I saw yesterday. Sorry. There's a texter who writes in that his wife passed away, and they're thinking of adding an addition to their son's house. So obviously he's going to move in with his son, and they want to know about any advice. Well, I would say, talk to people about a real estate agent that you can use. What is your thoughts, Chris, about a real estate agent? I think interviewing a couple, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, just like
or-
anything
or-
in life, you want to interview a
Roz.
couple people, see who you feel comfortable with. How are you going to try to get top buck for your house, or do you want to just say, you know what, I only need this much, so whatever it sells for, as long as it's this, that's good. But I do have a question that just came to my mind. It was on the news the other day that I don't know if they're flipper. It sounds like a flipping company. They listed a house in Cheektowaga for $1. To say, we're going to let the market determining the sale price instead of us. So we're going to list this house for $1.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but that's the market that's out there. And again, because of that type of market, it's more and more you need the help of someone who has your best interests at heart, a real estate professional, someone that knows the market and can guide you through it. And I agree, when I recommend home inspectors, I give them three numbers. Speak to each of them and see which one works best.
Yeah.
And Chris, if I could also add something regarding the question about adding an addition, so that I guess it was the
dad's
dad.
going to move in to the
yes.
son's house.
Well,
yeah.
we had that situation in my family. My grandmother or my uncle put an addition on his house, and my grandparents moved in, and next thing you know, my uncle got transferred.
Oh no.
And so that they ended up, my grandparents put a lot of money into that addition, and I don't know how all that worked out. I don't think it worked out well.
And another with that,
And
there you go.
my point just being that think about all the possibilities before you enter into
ramifications.
something like that.
And then from a tax standpoint, if his wife passed away in 2025, the first $500,000 of the gain is tax free. And so that's always a nice little caveat. Whereas if the year after, he would get an exclusion of $250,000. And you're right, you got to really be careful. I know Chris has a sister, and she moved and sold her house and went to live with her daughter, who had 5 or 6 kids to help. And they sold everything, and they got a house in the mountains of North Carolina. And then a year later, the son-in-law got a transfer, and so they were left holding the bag. And I think they lost some money on the real estate situation. Before the break, Franz, I think this is a good question. What is a common error that owners of small businesses make regarding their business and their property? I guess that's when you determine the business value, right? Is that the same thing about getting financials?
Well, and
Consider an example of
the
a hair
first thing
salon.
to decide is whether or not you have a business that has value. And I, in the example that I was discussing in that little piece, I was thinking about, for example, consider someone owns a hair salon, and is that salon a business that can be sold? Well, not easily, but if you have an employee or someone renting a chair, then you've got the natural buyer right there. And based on the amount of income that salon throws off, you can then sell the business. And the other thing to bring out is that getting financing for a very small business purchase like that is hard to get from a bank. And yet the U.S. Small Business Administration has kind of come to the rescue on that. They will guarantee up to 85% of a bank loan up to $150,000 for a business purchase, and that can include real estate and intangible business assets.
What do you think about those?
Tiff,
So I know we can break a minute or so after. I just want to ask a really quick question, and we can talk about it later. With the break, there's its flexibility here. So what do you think about like Biz for Sale, those websites that have Biz for Sale? And do you think and we'll talk about this after the break because Chris really wants to do the break right now. Okay.
So we're going to come back. We got Mark on hold. We'll take you as well. We'll be right back. Hey, that's right. It's football season. The Bills are playing tomorrow in Chicago. Let's see how many Bills Mafias out there. I know it's a preseason game, but I bet you there's still some people who made the trek. We got our final 10 minutes on the show here. Chris and Tiff from EG Tax. We're going to go to Mark first before we go back to the question Tiff asked Franz. Hey, Mark, how can we help you?
Hi, Chris and Tiffany. Thanks for the service. We're happy customers of EG Tax for a number of years. Thank you with Sue in Lockport.
Oh, I love Sue. Isn't she the best?
She is the best.
She's the best.
Yeah, the show is the greatest too. Hey, here's my quick question for you. I heard I'm 68, and I've heard there's changes with Social Security tax, and with the new big beautiful bill. My question is, I was looking to do a capital improvement in our house, and I was going to fund it with taking money out of our IRA, and I wondered if that added income would impact the tax that we would pay based on the new law.
I just got to say a really quick sideline before you say something. Yesterday, I was talking to Esther, and she told me she sent an email to the President of the United States, which she's never said before, and she said, I just got to tell you, Mr. Trump, you keep saying that Social Security is now tax-free. Well, you're overstepping by far. It's not now tax-free. Can you be more correct in your speaking? Anyways.
Right, because, Social Security is not all tax-free. So are you married there, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is
happily married, by the way.
Yay. What is yours and your wife's income, your AGI? Is it over 150? Is it under 150?
It would be under 150, including Social Security.
Okay, so that's good. So what will happen is you're going to get an extra $12,000 in your standard deduction. So if you were to take $12,000 out of your IRA, that basically would be tax-free on the federal. On New York State, we would have to take a look and see where you stand with your other pensions and all that.
So I think smart move, right?
Yeah, but if you want to call us during the week, somebody at our office, myself, Maria, Dana, Grace, somebody can, even Tiffany, can even run the numbers for you and let you know how much you take out and what it would cost you.
But it sounds like your thinking is spot on. Very good thinking. But because you go to one of our offices, we can bring up your tax return at the corporate office and put it in what if mode and tell you the precise numbers.
Okay.
But it sounds like your thinking is correct. And what was he going to use the money for?
Refurbishing.
Mini split air conditioning unit.
Okay, and don't forget, in 2025, this is the last year for energy credit. So new windows, front door, garage door, furnace, rolls of insulation. Does a split level air conditioning unit, Chris? If it's the right BTUs.
If it's a high efficiency, yeah.
So do it in 2025. Mark.
Okay. All right. It's been so hot. We needed the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great weekend. Go
Thank
Bills.
You. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So,
Go Bills.
Franz, your question, what do you think about those websites that have like Biz for Sale and things like that?
Well, I use Biz by Sell when I'm doing a business valuation as a source. It's good information, and yet anytime you're using any kind of internet source, you have to sort the junk from the more credible information. They're all asking prices of businesses. They're not selling prices. But if someone is thinking about buying a lawn care business or something like that, go to Biz Buy Sell. It'll give you just a little beginning of a look at that. This is what it's going to cost.
That's nice. That's nice. Couch it.
I'm going to say I just did a consultation for somebody who was looking to buy a business last week. And I said, well, I need to see their tax returns and to really look at it, because the bank was giving them a hard time about giving them a loan, the SBA and the bank, because they're like, well, according to the tax return, it doesn't look very profitable. And so we're looking at it and everything. And I'm going, well, they're at a loss, but they're at a loss because they pay themselves. So how can you say you're making money when it's your money's going right back into the company? So you really got to be careful. You got to look at everything. And then also the seller said, well, we don't really record everything because we don't want to get killed on taxes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I wrestle with those kinds of issues every day, and a lot of taxpayers are just a little bit aggressive in the way they do their taxes. And if they're a little bit aggressive, no big deal. But if they're way understating their income, well, then that's a deal killer.
Yeah. And then, Roz, I wanted to say, so I hear a lot about this premise of listing real estate agents will have a house and they'll say, we want all offers in by Tuesday at 5 p.m. What is the rationale for doing that?
So because it's a seller's market and you have so many people buyers going in and looking, it just puts some urgency under and some pressure for the buyer's agents to get in there. And, highest and best offer, there's the escalation. There is so much involved in that the real estate process the way it is now.
Yeah.
I guess it's always been that way, but it definitely, buyers agents are put under the gun.
Yeah.
And you have listings that are listed low, and they're listed below the market, what it should be.
Right.
And now you got 20 offers because you had 40 people.
Yeah, that sort of ties into what Chris said, person putting $1 or something like
40
that.
40 people through showing, and 20 of them like it.
I know, as I had alluded to, and sorry for stepping on you, Chris, Esther has always said real estate is an amazing vehicle to put in your tool chest, because the fact that a married couple get to exclude $500,000 of the gain, a single person $250,000 tax-free, personal real estate is just an amazing way to go. Whereas Chris and Roz were bantering back and forth about gain of commercial because they don't have that beautiful caveat. And after Chris asks your question, I want you to give your phone number one more time. But Chris, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, so people still can put an offer in saying, right now I'm offering $250, but you mentioned the word escalating, which means, but we will go all the way up to $300.
If the seller will allow their agent to accept the escalation clauses.
Oh, wow.
So we also see where no escalation clause. Now, if there's no date, and as counseling buyers in the very beginning, if there's no date, this is the house, you see yourself in it, let's put an offer in. Because we've talked about what you can afford. You can talk to your mortgage person. Let's put an offer in before anybody else sees it.
I know a long time ago I would hear stories, and I see it on TV sometimes, that a buyer will write a note to the seller. Can people still explain?
No more love letters.
No more love letters?
No more love letters.
Aww.
As an agent, I can do a summary to explain how strong my client is financially and their desire to live in the home, but I can't talk about their family, their dog.
Do cash offers, are cash offers weighted?
I can talk about the financial side of it, how strong my client is.
And cash offers, those are weighted better?
Well, see, my philosophy is that at the end of the day, it's all cash.
Yeah, yeah.
So it still goes with the type of mortgage.
I have a
the
client,
amount.
all that. I have a
Yeah.
client who kept taking money out of his IRA, like $150,000 a year, so that his daughter could pay cash for a house. Anyways, before time runs out, could you give your phone number?
Yes,
so
our
that
office
Franz
number
can-
is 716-534-8495.
And then, Franz, your phone number.
Yes. My phone number is 716-440-1966.
And do you have a website, Franz? Or Roz, do you have a website?
Yes, www.mmbhomesellers.com.
And you have an email address.
Franz at goingconcernvalue.com.
There you go.
And we got another text before we're done, real fast. What is the downside of selling a house at auction? Well, I watch too much TV. Too much it's always, you think, again, it comes down, you think your house is worth X amount of dollars, but it all comes down to what somebody buys it for. And it's like sports memorabilia.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
I got this Jim Kelly's rookie card. It's worth $750,000. Well, you put it up in auction, and you may only get $50,000.
But doesn't the auction mean that they foreclosed on the house where you go
Not
on?
all
Okay.
it's not all the time, and it all depends on the urgency too. Every seller is different, every buyer is different, every life situation is different, can be different. So the person that's in an auction, it could have already been foreclosed on, and the auction house is trying to recoup. So it depends.
Yeah.
I
Call your office.
Yeah,
Get
call-
your. And what, do
call us.
businesses ever go into auction?
I can't think of one. I've-
Foreclosures.
Yeah.
Foreclosures.
Well,
commercial real
state-
estate
Yeah.
does all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
State shutdowns for not paying
But
sales tax
commercial,
and stuff.
Commercial real estate, yes.
Yeah.
Businesses,
foreclosure.
no.
Yeah, but for commercial real estate, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
might be some good opportunities. Yep.
Well, Chris Fabian, Tiffany Fabian here from EG Tax. Like to say thank you for Rosalind and Franz to be here today.
I
for
thank you for having me.
sharing their knowledge.
Tiffany's the best.
You're the best.
Give us a call during the week, 632-7886, with your tax questions. If you didn't catch their numbers, you can call us, and we'll give them out during the week as well. Don't forget, we got the seminar on the Big Beautiful Bill coming up and our tax school. Go to our website, egtax.com. And until next weekend, we'll see you then. Have a good one. Stay cool.
Go Bill.
And go Bills.